Okay, I believe we are now online, so or on air. All right, so Jason had a hard time getting into the Hangouts because of his iPad, so we're just going to do sort of a 0.5 for him. He is going to pick a pre-gen character, so he doesn't have to make one, so that's a little bit faster jumping into things. Yeah, so session 0.5. Jason, before we start, did you have any questions about the rules or anything? I guess we could go over that real quick.
Yes, actually. Well, I technically haven't read it since I just got it to download.
All right, it's there. Let's see here. We can start with skills. You're going to have a various, assortment of skills there, and they have a D6 rating, so it'll be a range like 1. Most skills are 1 on a 1d6. So if you roll a 1, and that's what you have. Basically, if you roll a 1 anytime on a d6, it's going to be a success. Okay. If your range is like 0 or 1 to 4 on a d6, and you roll like a 5, that's a failure. So you really want to just roll within your range. Looks like Tim joined us again.
Hi.
You got some free time, Tim? You can hang out with us?
Yeah. Yeah,
cool,
I don't have anything today.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Jason's actually going to pick one of the pre-gen characters. So.
Oh, I didn't see there was pre-gens.
Yeah, I had them on the group there. But
I'm trying to find it again, and I'm not seeing where the heck it is.
What, the character?
Yeah, I remember it being there because I said something about wanting to play Fat Spine.
I believe it's underneath where the blank character sheet was posted.
Okay, I'm gonna look there.
Maybe if you find it, just post it in the files section.
How do I do that?
In the group, there's a, where it says discussion, members, events, photos, and then there's one that says files. You just click on there.
You're saying you can make a PDF or something, and then just post it up there. Whatever.
Oh, were they just like text stuff that was put in?
It's basically.
I don't remember seeing them.
Yeah. It's
okay. I see.
Yeah, they were right underneath the blank character sheet, I think. But okay. I'm sorry, Jason. I thought you had that already.
My bad. I'm kind of out of it, but I'll. I'm not a morning person. I'm sorry. I'm the worst morning person that's ever lived. So my brain doesn't work. I can't find this stupid thing. Where is it? I see all these pictures you posted, but I don't see one that says Fat Spine.
Yeah, he should be all text. I logged out of Facebook because of the Hangout. My internet connection is kind of slow.
But you'll never beat Clapface White Burble.
My favorite line of yours when he's like, what was it? The auditory emanation from this being is most unsatisfactory. Oh, that was great. I was laughing when I saw that. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't. I see images, Ogrin, and I click on that. That's the one that's... Wait, maybe I'm in the wrong place. Let me go. Where's the stupid character sheet?
Scroll up or down. Wherever the blank character sheet is, that it should be on post. And then it should be in a comment below that.
Okay, let me try this one more time.
Unless it's under the character creation thread, but yeah, it should be there.
Oh, here we go. It's in the comments. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm stupid. Okay, I found it. Clawfire, Warp Belch, and then we got Fat Spine, Carnal Flux. There we go, I got it. Fat Spine, Carnal Flux. Yay.
Rabid Squeeze Sharp Ooze.
So back to what you were saying. So we have skills that are 1 through 6, and you're trying to roll over your skill? Is that the deal?
Yeah, you basically just want to roll within your range. So if your skill is 1 to 4, a 1 to 4 is a success, and a 5 is a failure. Most skills are going to be probably 1 or 2, and it should all be generated. Yeah, it's because you got the pre-gen. Oh, that's what it's called. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry. So yeah, you're basically just going to roll a d6 whenever you try something, and then you just want to get within that range, and then your success. For
Do we-
saves, sorry, Tom. What?
I was just gonna say, do we get extra pips when we level up to put in places?
Yeah, I think I said every level is going to be a +1 pip to level you want. I'll have to double check that, but yeah. So those should all be listed there. Do you see it on your character sheet? Like it should have a range for each skill.
Yes, yeah, huh? And then saving throws were for what now?
Saving throws are D20. You want to roll that number or over. So you want to roll high. And attacks, you basically roll a D20 and either add your dex bonus or your strength bonus for ranged or melee, and then you're going to look at that little chart and see what armor class you hit. So it's basically THAC0, but it's just using like the basic and expert D&D kind of like little chart thing to hit chart.
What was Brad's character's name?
I didn't actually hear it. I think Buttocks was in there at some point.
Buttocks something.
Yeah. He got the worst name generator, I think. But yeah, maybe I'll have him roll up another name. It's pretty bad. All right. So Jason is going to be playing an Ogren. So basically like a space ogre. Space orc, whatever. It's just basically a big dude. Things. But yeah. Feel free to add, like Tim was saying, you're getting used to these characters. Just sort of play with them, see what happens, see what grows out of the experience, see how it works.
Alrighty.
So yeah, so basically attacks roll high, saving throws going to roll high. Skills are a D6, and you want to get within your range. And that should be it.
So I'm just digging out some dice.
Okay. I'm gonna grab myself a drink. I'm starting to get that. I've been talking too much.
Yeah. Hey, I even have a D20 in my bag, so I don't have to get off my fat ass. That's great. I have to. If you wonder why I'm laying down, it's because I have a back problem, and so it's kind of awkward. But that's the only solution I have right now. Is I can't like sit in a chair.
I always imagined you laying in a hammock. You just didn't want to get up.
That's great. I am pretty lazy, so that would probably be accurate. Oh man. Okay, so how do I figure out my bonuses for my saving throws? You said it's like there's like a dex bonus, a con bonus, and something.
Yeah, basically Constitution bumps down the number so that it's easier to roll. So if you have a Constitution bonus, your save versus poison will go down a little bit, and the same thing for paralyze.
So is it like D&D where it's on a 3d6 scale for your attributes? I didn't look at that part yet.
Yeah, I rolled 46, dropped the lowest. So.
Well, I mean, so like if you have a 12 is 0 bonus, or is it 14 is +1?
Yeah, I believe that's the case. Yeah.
Or I guess minus 1 in this case.
Yeah, I think 13 was the first one that had a bonus.
Yeah.
I know I had a 16 dex and I had a +2.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, I think that was the only. Yeah, because I had a 12 intelligence and I didn't have any bonuses for anything.
Yeah. But yeah, that should all be figured out in your character sheet, Jason. So you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
So should be good there. All right,
Cool.
So we got Fat Spine, the Ogren, and what was your first name again, Tim?
Let me see. It's in the. It is Clapface White Burrow.
So we got Clapface, the hovering squid of the alien race that I can't pronounce right.
Sletexic. That's the way I'm looking at it. Sletexic.
My human vocal cords cannot pronounce the alien.
Yeah, that's the closest that it can be pronounced in human.
Okay. So The other two characters, Jason, had gone on a quick little mission. They returned. We're gonna say that I'm just gonna say Brad's character. I can't remember his character's name, but he had ingested or kept some liquid in his mouth, and his mouth was all bloody. So we're gonna say that he's resting in the med lab right now. They're trying to work on him, trying to make him feel better, try to extract some of that liquid out of his lips and gums where it got absorbed into. Maybe his teeth are a little messed up. So they're working on him. But yeah, the hovering squid seems like he's ready for some more. He wants to make some more credits. He got a big whopping 20 from
Yeah, for my cilia that I collected.
That 20
What's
credits
his name again?
For some alien.
What was that?
What's your guy's name again, Tim?
Clapface.
Flap face?
Clap like
Clap.
clap
Okay.
like you're clapping your hands.
Clap face. Okay.
All right. So Clapface, your one tentacle that had the black lines on it, the skin has started to blister a little bit. You have a few little blister bubbles that are forming along those lines on your tentacle, and the med guy basically said, "We'll pop it when you get back."
Back from where?
Wherever you go to next. That's basically what they said. So at the moment, you're standing in that sort of utilitarian building. It's kind of dirty and grimy. There's some blood stains and liquid stains from other people that have gone on various missions and returned. And you have that clone of the CEO that works for the company. Again, he has that artifact in his hand, and he's marking stuff. You're back from war already. I thought, what was that? A couple of days ago, you just went out. You sure you want to go out again? He looks at your eye stalks.
The purpose for which I am with this establishment is to go out, as you say. I am satisfactory condition.
Well, it's your skin. You must be a new recruit. Did you? You must have just went on your mission. Sorry, we forgot to talk about this, Jason. But you went on your internship, right? And they showed you the ropes, how this works.
Yes, they showed me many ropes, but not sure I have anything left further to learn. This is all simple nonsense.
Well, I hope you're right about that. Hold on, let me give you your shots. And he comes over with the syringe over to the hovering squid again.
He pauses for a moment, then he lowers one of his eye stalks down.
The injection goes in and drips down the side of your face a little bit. All right, big boy, come on over here. It's your turn. He pulls out another syringe. It comes right at your eye.
Get that away from me, fool!
And he grabs your wrist, and he just holds it like an inch from his eye.
Hold on, ho! You need this. You can't go anywhere without it. You know that. They told you that in your internship. Come on, just let me poke you, and just let me go.
And he just kind of burps in your face and lets go.
He sticks it right here on your eye and just shoves in about an inch, and then you feel this pressure build behind your eye as the liquid goes in. All right, let me go. He backs up. All right, well, you know the drill. You got to hold hands or tentacles, whatever you got.
We must commence auditory emanations to invoke the the warp field.
I must touch this disgusting entity.
It is not of pleasant desire for me to touch this disgusting creature as well. Bipedal organisms, inferior.
Well, it will be over soon enough, I suppose.
So my tentacle just reaches out and wraps around your forearm, your wrist.
Okay.
And then you hear all these bubbling sounds coming from in between all these tentacular mass.
My stomach is in need of food. Oh, wait, that's not my stomach.
Biomass will be found upon our destination. Ingestion can be commenced at your discretion.
Excellent.
All right, intern, close your eyes and concentrate. You know the drill.
So he closes his eyes, and you hear him stomping his feet just ever so lightly.
Then there's a quick, sudden lurching feeling to the side. You feel like you're being pulled through reality itself. The strange motions, a strange tingling sensation on your skin and flesh. You just feel like you're being stretched and then suddenly put back together again. There's a very abrupt sensation as you're falling and you land on your face or your massive tentacles. You have this encoded slime-like substance all over you. You're dripping with it, and you are at your destination, wherever it is. There's some light filtering through the translucent material that's all around you. You're not sure where you are at the moment. It's hard to see.
So I do like I did last time, and my tentacles reach out and pop the womb that I'm in.
There's this blue-green light all around you. You seem to be in this not quite liquid substance, but you don't know what else to describe it. Like, what is this? It seems like it's almost like thick air. It's all around you. There's this blue-green something, as far as the eye can see, and you're sort of surrounded by it, above you, below you, almost as if you were down in the ocean, but it's not water.
I'm going to also push my way out of the womb using one of my meaty forearms to kind of scoop the squid out of my way as I butt my way past.
Yeah, the membrane breaks and this strange substance kind of flows in, and it's all around you. You can't get away from it. If you move your hands, again, it's like water, but it's not. It's very bizarre. And there's this. It seems like there must be some sort of light source above you that's filtering down through the substance.
I'm going to start detecting for living organisms.
Okay. There seems like there's a plethora of living organisms below you, but at quite a distance, and there are a few above you, and nothing around you.
So we're suspended and we're floating in something? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, it seems like you're floating or suspended in some sort of substance, but it's not like any substance you've ever experienced before.
Okay.
I'm going to try and swim up towards the light and pull out my my vibro dagger. See if I can kind of like knife my way through this jelly.
Okay. It's a strange sensation. It does feel like you're cutting or parting, but whenever it parts, it seems to just congeal or to form back together again after your motion of your limb. If you try to swim, it doesn't give as much resistance as water, but there is some, and you do tend and start to move in that direction if you put your mind to it.
I'm just going to start floating, because that's what I do. I'm going to start floating up towards the direction of where the light seems to be coming from.
Okay. It's a slow process, but you do move up. It seems like the consistency of the material isn't as dense the more up you go, the higher up you go. You do break the surface eventually, and you look around. There is a vibrant sun in the sky. All around you, there's this. It looks like a very like ocean scene, except there are these strange floating globules of almost looks like pink mass that the bubbles pop and spray onto this surface, and then more bubbles sort of film up and replace the ones that popped, and they're sort of floating about a foot above this material that you're in. There's probably about 4 of them in the local area. You do see what looks like some sort of metallic oblong structure off in the distance to your right. It sort of just emerges out of this liquid that you're in, and you see other little patches of these pink bubbling mass things. You think that they're alive. At least that's what your sensors or your perception picks up there, Mr. Hovering Squid.
Okay. So am I detecting life force from these globules?
Yes, you are. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
From the metallic area, you don't sense anything. Just there's nothing over there. At least nothing living.
Okay, so I'm just going to approach those globules cautiously.
Clap, Burble, those look like your kind. Why don't you try and speak to them?
Oh, I think. Did you freeze him? You look like you're frozen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I turned my I
can
muted
hear
my
you,
audio. So I just kind of ignore his comment, and then I'm just floating towards them very cautiously with my tentacles out, and then my eye stalks are just very cautiously examining these globules. I'm trying not to get too close, but
Yeah, you get the feeling if you get too close, whenever those bubbles pop, the liquid is going to get on you. But yeah, you get close enough. It just seems like they continually churn. Bubbles form, expand, and then pop. And then as you look down at the surface of the liquid, whatever the substance is that you're in, there seems to be this pink sort of residue in wherever they are, below them, that is sort of floating on the surface of the liquid, which is called a liquid.
bioorganisms. We need to collect samples.
The bubbles continue to pop. They float. They don't even seem like they. There's no reaction. At least it doesn't seem. There doesn't seem to be a reaction.
So I just bought some pieces of equipment. I didn't have a chance to buy them before, but one of the things I bought was a what is it called? A large Nilex sack. I'm gonna pull out this sack and I'm gonna slowly try to move it up and then try to catch one of them in it.
Okay. That's no problem. The only thing I'm going to make you do is roll a d20 plus your dex, just to see if you get any of that popping bubble liquid on yourself.
Okay.
Your tentacles.
21 with my dex bonus.
Okay, you have no problem getting the thing in the
Just a
sack.
second.
Okay. So so you'll see the hovering squid basically just wrap up one of these creatures, whatever they are, and they seem like it's contained. So what do you do?
I am going to head towards. I'm going to skim towards that structure. No, what was it? You said there was a.
Yeah, it's like a metallic oblong structure that's like jutting out of the surface of the water.
Yeah, I want to go take a look at that.
Okay. So you start moving over in that direction. Again, you just see the light filtering down from above. These floating creatures are out there. There doesn't seem to be any pattern to them. It's almost like they are letting the currents move them. It doesn't seem like they even move of their own volition, if you had to guess. The structure itself seems like it has lots of pipes. It almost looks like scrap, maybe. They built this structure out of scrap pieces from other machines or. Oh, hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You guys can talk.
All right.
So what happened when I left?
Oh, he just had to go answer the door or something.
No, I mean,
So-
what happened right after I left?
Oh, so I just went over to look at that structure that he's described, and it was jutting out of the liquid. And he was just saying it looks like it's made from scrap, and that they put this They built this thing all out of scrap or something.
Oh, okay.
All right, I have a little GM's assistant for a little bit.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. So you guys are, I believe, moving over towards the structure?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. So like I said, the structure seems like it's built out of refuse, old parts, scrap metal. You see like this area that looks like some sort of dock or just it's like a ramp that goes right down into the liquid that you guys are traveling through.
Okay, I'm gonna head on down that ramp.
Okay, so like it sort of comes out of the substance that you guys are in. It also occurs to you that like how, especially the ogre, you think that he would have sunk if this was like a traditional liquid. So that's one thing that maybe occurred to you as you're getting out of it. Like, hey, why didn't I sink like a rock? But you climb out onto the ramp. It's very solid. It doesn't seem like it's buoyant or floating. It must be anchored down below. And there seems like the ramp goes up, and there's this sort of opening, sort of like tunnel into the structure itself.
Bipedal organism should lead the way into this direction.
As you say, and Fat Spine, you notice that as he's on the ramp and he's now got the weight of his body, he's not as clumsy as his weight would make him seem. He's surprisingly nimble for his size. And so he kind of not minces, but on the balls of his feet proceeds on down the ramp.
I'm sorry, was I able to capture one of those things in my sack?
Yeah, you have it in your sack.
Okay.
It actually kind of feels buoyant, like you're not having as hard of a time as hovering as you normally do. It seems like it's helping you in some ways.
Okay. So it can float as well.
So the Ogren starts to move up the ramp. The structure itself, again, you just have like jutting pieces of metal coming out from the sides of this little, looks like an entryway, and it seems to open up into a larger semicircular room that have many different corridors that head off from it. At quick glance, it looks like there is 8 different passageways from this round area.
I'm just going to go around slowly, floating around, looking down each one, detecting for life.
Okay. As before, this structure seems to be completely devoid of life. There is no... You get no emanations of any beings or thought processes or anything in here. It's just it seems completely devoid. It's metallic. It's cold. Nothing living here is the sensation you get.
There is no life force detected in these corridors.
Some of these corridors go up at a slight angle. Some go down. They all kind of look the same, though, just cobbled together fragments of sharp metal, angular metal. You'll see burn marks in places, singed areas. The floor itself is pretty clean. In fact, that's one thing that kind of strikes you is that for being in this moist environment, you think it might have like mildew or like molds or something growing on it. It's just very pristine and clean.
This place is most unusual, Squid. What are your thoughts?
All of these passageways seem to be of same type of material construction. There is no determining without any additional information which passageway we should take.
Oh, the passage is quite obvious to superior intellect. It is the first one on the right. And I club my way past him and just head up.
All right, yeah, this one does travel up at a slight angle. There is a smell of almost, it reminds you of like cleaning products. Some sort of smell like that is in just wafting up from this tunnel.
Did you defecate, Squid? This is most unpleasant.
Those types of olfactory senses are more than likely emanating from bipedal organisms such as yourself.
It's deadly quiet. It's quiet like a grave. There's just, you don't hear anything. There's nothing tapping. You don't hear any like motors turning or anything like that. It's just you hear the sound of your breathing and your heartbeat. You can hear it.
We must be cautious. Always on the alert for ambush.
The silence is most enjoyable.
And I pull out my gun.
All right, you'll walk past a section that looked like every other section, except when you walk past it, it opens up. Inside, you'll see like 5 cylindrical tube-like impressions. They're entirely empty, however. At the back of them, you see a wire that looks like it has some sort of plug.
Stick your tentacle into that plug, Squid.
That was the baby. I was going to say, what was that sound? So I'm going to go over to it and examine it. The plug.
You want to roll a d6 for science and technology?
Let's see, science, technology, I only have a 1 in that. And then after that, I'm going to start looking around it for panels, see if like there might be some sort of doors or something containing. Oh, I actually rolled a 1.
Oh. All right. So you're fiddling about, figuring out what this wire goes into. You get the feeling that some sort of metallic object is slid into place here and plugs into the back. You're guessing some sort of power source, a battery, something like that. So whatever was here looks like it's been removed. And then as you're looking around, like, well, what's the wire go to? You'll see that there are other panels that look like you need to touch. Sorry, you need to touch them, and they'll open up.
Well, I reach out with my tentacles and I start touching things. See what happens.
You hear like a bent piece of metal kind of gets in the wrong place and gets like twisted. You'll see what looks like it's not a humanoid face, but you get the impression that it is a face. There is a large like spherical indentation in the center of a round oblong face. There is a series of holes lined up in a row right here. And there's also wires that are hanging out of its the side of this, almost like an oblong sphere.
How large is it?
It's probably about the size of your torso. It's pretty large, probably like 4 feet tall and 3 feet wide, so a fairly large face-like structure. You get the impression that if you plug the power source in here, it will do something. You're not exactly sure what, though.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and try to plug it in.
The only trick is that you don't have... You think you're looking for some sort of cylindrical object, like batteries.
Oh, okay.
They aren't in the area at the moment.
Okay. we need to look through the area to find some cylindrical objects to insert into this device.
I've
Go.
got a cylindrical object I can insert.
Looking most confused, I did not see you search the area, but if you have such device inserted into this specific locale. And I point to the direction where it looks like the cylindrical device should fit.
I just turn my back on the squid and search. Is there another exit to this room besides the one we came in?
Let's see here. So, like I said, you were in that large, round area that had 8 corridors that head off from it. You picked the one on the right.
Oh, baby.
Strange sounds emanate from the halls of this structure.
The silence has been disturbed. This is not a state in which I am agreeable with.
You hear a loud squealing noise coming from the end of the corridor.
This sound is most distressing. Go investigate.
I will do as I want, but I will investigate. And so I head down the corridor. I'm going to pull out my chainsword, just in case. And so I go down the corridor, and there's another chamber. It's one twice the size of the one we were in.
You do not sense any life, however. It's just this strange noise.
It is not an organic organism that is creating this noise. It must be some sort of mechanical device.
Some sort of reverberation, perhaps.
And while I'm saying that, I pull out my laser pistol and my bolt gun and 2 of my tentacles.
So I using the tip of my chainsword, I kind of poke into the walls, not poke, like tap, see if there's any kind of reverberation, or what if there's any kind of hollowness to the sound, or if it's just a dull sound like a thick structure would make. And nothing comes back. It's not hollow for sure. It's so the sound is coming from somewhere deep beyond where we are.
Okay. As you travel down the corridor, you'll see that as you pass certain areas, it must be automated. Certain sections are also opening up. You'll see rotted organic matter in sealed plastic, sort of like little containers. It seems, but they're very old. There's cracks in some of the plastic. Some of the material has leaked out. But that strange noise seems to be coming from one of these panels that are open, and there's some light sort of flickering out onto the floor and the wall in the area there.
Light flickering out from inside of it, or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And every once in a while, you just hear like this high-pitched wailing sort of sound.
It's coming from in where that area with the light is coming out of?
Yeah, that's. Like I said, you're moving down. You'll see it sort of like towards the end of that hallway that you're at. But yeah, as you walk, there's more of these little panels keep opening up with varying just metallic areas where you can put things, or there's things waiting in there. You'll see one. There's just lots of metal boxes that have a very dark color to them.
I'm just going to start investigating all of them, pull the boxes out, see if they have lids that can open up on them.
Okay. The first one that you pull out, as soon as you touch it, it starts to unfold. One of the edges will flap down. Another one, and then it starts to like take shape and expand. Parts of it are flipping open and just it's just getting large. Probably about the size of a football already, and it seems like it's continuing to expand, flipping and pushing out, and hinges.
So it's still just moving around?
It seems like it's unfolding. That's probably the best
Okay.
way to describe it.
Well, I'm going to set it back down and watch it until it finishes unfolding.
All right, it forms into this thing that is mostly severe. It's like spherical, and it starts to sort of like roll around, and lights start to appear in various places. It starts to throw patterns against the wall, and you hear this very soothing sort of musical series of notes that come out of it. And it's sort of spinning and throwing light everywhere. And the Ogren gets to that spot where the lights are coming out of the wall, and you hear that screaming sound. Inside there seems like there is a display that is showing a recording of strange life form. It's green. It has like a sort of opening, and these sounds are coming out of it. It's basically just lying there. It has 3 different sort of pseudopods that come out from the center where that mouth is, and that's the sound that you're hearing. It's basically a recording of that.
How big is this thing?
On the display, it's hard to tell because it's a recording. There's no real thing to compare it to.
Oh, so the sound is coming from this this thing that unfolded, but it's showing us this green creature.
Well, there's 2 things going on at the moment. There's this thing unfolding that's still unfolding, and then there's that thing. It's basically like just one of those openings in the side of the wall that opened up, and there's this display, and there's this 3-pronged pseudopod thing with a mouth that's making a horrible noise, and it's a recording of that, and that's what the flickering light is the recording playing. The thing that's folding out basically folds out into a metallic version of what's on the screen. So it has 3 sort of pseudopods and a mouth in the center. They sort of spring out from that round part. And again, it just has those lights, and there's this soothing music that's playing.
I'm just going to touch the thing that finished unfolding.
Okay. If you touch it on one of the pseudopods, it will sort of curl up and then unfold, and then it just sort of like just throws different colors, different light patterns appear on the wall, and you'll see lots of similar shapes to this. Like the number 3 is used a lot. There's like 3 prongs or 3 ovals, and it sort of plays in sort of like this light pattern against the wall. It's kind of impressive to see. It's a little bit mesmerizing.
I'm going to try to pick it up.
Okay. It's surprisingly light. You get the sensation that it's hollow, and that all that unfolding metal, it's basically just air on the inside, and metal, and that's it. But it seems to wrap those tendrils lightly around your arm, not so that around your tentacle. So the pseudopods are wrapping around your tentacle. Oh, you're mute again, Tim.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does it look like any part of that area, any part of it could fit into that cylindrical area that we saw earlier?
You think the pseudopod's good?
Okay. So I'm just going to keep this one, but I'm also going to look at some of the other doors that open up the panels.
Okay. And like I said, there were probably about 20 of those little boxes, those little metal boxes that unfolded in that one area there. As you move further, so there's more that have opened up. Looks like there's old organic, perhaps food or life forms. It's all rotted and just very old.
I'm gonna take my sword and just start jamming it into open boxes without looking to see what's in them.
All right, so fragments of metal come falling out and scattering all over the floor. Horrible stench wafts up when he knocks over one of these old containers, some sort of substance. It has a very pungent, putrid smell to it. It fills the area. It just wafts up from it, just emanating in waves. At one point, he breaks glass, and this liquid running along the edge of the wall. It has like a brown tint to it. But yeah, there's a big, just a big pile of destruction.
Well, as best as can be expressed in the eyes of a squid, he gives a look of complete disgust and contempt towards this creature, and then he starts floating back towards that other area where he came from.
Is that recording still playing the sound?
Yeah, it is. There's that horrible, like, screaming, crying sort of sound coming out of the mouth of this three-flying creature.
So, I'm gonna, as soon as I'm done, basically causing wanton destruction, I'm going to just follow the squid out and kind of humming to myself the same tune that the scream is kind of carrying, if it could be said to be carrying any kind of tune at all.
At the end of the corridor, it looks like there is another round room. You can see that off in the distance a little bit, and you'll start to see lights coming up along the corridor on the top, sort of emanating your way.
This area seems to be full of power.
I probably can't hear you because I went back to the other area. you probably look around and see that I'm gone.
I was talking to myself, apparently.
Oh.
Ogren like to talk to themselves. It makes their thoughts feel more important than they really are.
Yeah, so the squid is back in the round area that has 8 corridors, and you are still left.
Well, I wanted to go to the one that had the place where I could stick the device in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The one that had the plug.
Are you going to just try to insert the pseudopod in?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll put it in. You'll hear a snapping sound, and the face, the eyes will open in that round part in the center, and this like this intense blue light that shoots across the corridor, and the lights along the bottom here all kind of glitter, and yeah, it starts to turn, and it sort of like comes out of the wall a couple inches, and its face will spin counterclockwise and then open, and inside you'll see what looks like preserved plant life. It has a greenish tint to it.
Is it like growing and planted?
You'll see you'll see seeds. You'll see some plants that look like they have been preserved. They look like they're alive, but they're sort of coated in this like almost glass-like material.
Well, I start collecting as much of it as I can.
Yeah, it feels like glass figurines as you're pulling out the plants. They're just entirely coated in whatever this substance is. The seeds are just like a pile of seeds, and they're also kind of surrounded in glass-like material.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to try to collect all of them. I'm going to put some of the seeds in the bag with that floating globule, see if it reacts to them.
Okay. Are you going to break the material sealing them in, or are you going to just...
No, I'm just going to drop them in there, see what it does.
As you look down in the bag, the pink thing is just basically just floating there. It doesn't seem to take any notice of them.
Well, I'm going to break some of the seeds open then and put them in there, see what it does.
Okay. So describe how you're going to do this. Like, are you trying to pour the seeds on the back of the creature, or are you just trying to pour the seeds in the bag?
Just pour them in the bag. I just want to see if it reacts to any organic material.
As the seeds sort of kind of slide down the bag, you will see that it sort of lowers, and it seems like one of the more bubbles are bubbling from the bottom of it, and then it just sort of tries to float out of the bag.
Okay, so then I'm just going to put all these glass things inside the bag so I don't have to carry them separately.
Okay.
Because it doesn't seem to react to them when they're encased in glass.
And the Ogren, what's the Ogren doing?
So, where does that hallway with the lights lead to?
It leads to the end, and it looks like there's a spherical room that it opens up into. It's dark at the moment, however.
Okay. I guess I'll just. Actually, I have a hand flamer, so can I like shoot a gout of flame in there just to light and see if I can see anything? Just gonna torch the whole fucking area, just spray it around.
All right. So flames lick the inside of this room that you can't see in. Catching things on fire, of course. You hear a metallic sort of movement within there, and out of the room comes this like twirling. This is just like sharp little like sticks, and it's sort of like tumbling over on top of each other. Just like sort of just trying to get away from the flame apparently, but it's got flames coming off the top of it. It bounces into the wall beside you.
Okay.
Your
I'm gonna
reaction coming towards you.
Okay. I'm gonna just nonchalantly take my chainsword and just kind of half-heartedly swing at it.
All right. Yeah, just give me an attack roll, I guess.
Okay.
Tell me what armor class you hit.
Give me 1 sec here. I gotta pull that back up real quick.
Yeah, so D20 plus strength.
Do I hear any noise from all this?
Yeah, you hear.
Okay, once I have all that plant life secured, I'm gonna close the bag up. And I'm gonna start heading back in that direction. I'm gonna pull out my pistols.
Okay.
Okay. So
so
you
yeah,
said it's a D20 plus my strength?
Yeah, D20 plus strength, and yeah, tell me what armor class you hit. It should be in the same chart there.
Okay, so I rolled a 12, and my armor class.
No, what's your? Yeah, so 12 plus your strength bonus. What's your strength bonus?
Well, it's just 12 total, including my strength
okay.
bonus.
Okay.
So to hit. I fucking hate Thaco. I don't remember how to do this.
Sorry.
It says armor class 8.
Okay, all right. So you try to nonchalantly hit it. It's moving too quick for you. It bounces off the wall, and let's see. Roll dice here. It rolls right past you down the hallway. It's heading right towards the area where your squid friend is hovering in the hallway. So, Mr. Squid, you see this? It's like it looks like about 50 metallic sticks all bundled together, and they're spinning and twitching, and it's on fire, bouncing off the walls, coming up like 3 feet off the ground, and then heading back down and bouncing.
How big is it?
It's about the size of like a football, I guess like a basketball.
Okay. I'm just gonna get away from it.
Just like hover above it.
No, I'm just gonna move backwards back down the hallway.
Okay. It continues to do that. It's frantic, and eventually it just sort of stops moving. And then as it falls, all of the metallic sticks seem to line up, and it looks like if you would stack like 50 pencils made out of metal on top of each other in a very neat stack, but it's on fire.
Okay. Perhaps I need to remind you we are here to collect samples and gain acquisition of credits, not to destroy the facilities in which we are injected.
Yes, you are always reminding me of this sort of nonsense, I say as I come back into the room. And I head over towards the sticks, and I flame it one more time with my hand flamer.
So you have a burning pile of metallic sticks. All right. Okay, we'll take a little break here because Phil joined us.
Oh,
hey, Phil.
Okay.
You got your microphone muted, Phil.
Oh, I know. I just I don't want to interrupt anything.
Very good. Good morning.
Hey,
How's it going?
doing pretty good.
I didn't know if you want to jump right in, you could grab one of the pre-generated characters from the Facebook group, or if you had already made one yourself. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't make one. I thought we were gonna have like a character creation session and stuff.
Yeah, that was this morning, at 9:30 Eastern time.
I had to head out to a funeral.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It got brought up at the last second, and I had no
Oh.
idea about it, so I couldn't.
That's tough. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You're fine.
Do you want? Well, I guess I'll put it out there. Do you want to make one, or do you want to jump right into the action? That's up to you.
Observe, or
yeah.
I'll make one, and I'll just sit back and just watch.
Okay. Everything you need should be in the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
Just follow through the character creation thread. It's sticky at the top. And there is a blank character sheet section too. It's basically just text-based, kind of like I've done with other campaigns in the past you've been in.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, just I guess you can do it in the chat, or I don't know. I feel bad. I don't know. Does that work for you, Phil? Is that okay?
No, that's perfectly fine. I'm done with that.
Okay. All right, so get back to what's happening. There's this flaming pile of metallic sticks that the Ogren has just lit on fire some more. So.
So I'm still backing away from it. I don't know what this thing is. I just came around the corner and saw this spinning ball of flames come bouncing around. I don't know what's happening.
I see you have done something with the flesh port here. You've got it working?
Flesh port.
I assume that's what that was.
I inserted the device into the designation in the prior room.
Exactly. So, what are you doing cowering here in the corner? Let's get on with it.
I do not wish to be set ablaze. What was the reason for why you initiated this contact with this device?
Irrelevant. Now we must proceed. So I turn, I just about face and I don't even care that this thing is still burning, and I just kind of head back to the other room.
I'm gonna grab another one of those cubes.
Okay.
And try to get it
to
start unfolding.
Yeah, as soon as you touch it, it starts to unfold.
I'll finish just waiting for it to unfold, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up.
Okay. Same thing as last time. The pseudopods wrap gently around your tentacles.
I'm just going to go down the hall and see what it was he was setting on fire.
That's where the Ogren's going too, right? You're going back to that room he set on fire?
Well, I was going to the room where he found that where he plugged that thing in, the pseudopod.
Okay, yeah, that's in the corridor between the large area with the 8 corridors and the end of that corridor. That's where you lit on fire. So the hovering squid is going down the corridor. The room is licked with flames. It's burning. You see various metallic shelves lining the room. And there are stacks of these, like I said, it looks like 50 metallic pencils all sort of stacked. It's just basically metal rods. It seemed like that one was the only one that reacted when lit on fire. You'll say that about 60% of them are on fire still, but there's a good many left that are not on fire. So.
Okay. I guess if we're going to that place, I'm gonna start grabbing them and stuffing them in my satchel. Just big, thick bundles of them. I'm just gonna start grabbing them.
All right, so let's see here. What does the squid do?
I'm observing him stick those things in there. I want to see if he's going to set them on fire or do something to them.
Okay. About the fourth one that you grab suddenly springs open. All of those little metallic rods are writhing and splashing, and they seem like. Well, let's see here. What is your armor class rated at there, Jason? You remember?
6.
Okay, you're good. All right, so it bounces harmlessly off you and falls on the floor and starts to just bounce around the room.
I haven't ever seen anything like that. I don't know what this is, right?
Yeah, you don't even understand how the motion works because again, it just looks like a bunch of metallic rods that are all bundled up together, and they just start to move in various areas and scatter around the room and just kind of just roll, and it's
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna just. So that's all that's in this room, basically. You said.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of these on a various like shelves in like a semicircular pattern.
Okay, I'm just gonna torch the fucking place, just the whole thing now.
Okay. All right, so we'll get this straight. You have 3 of them in your bag or whatever. You're just lighting up the rest of them.
I have no
All right,
time for these. I have no time for these minuscule creature things.
Intense heat wafts out of the room as you continue to light it on fire. Yeah.
So once it's so I'm getting out of there now. I'm gonna head back to find the squid.
I'm not too far behind you.
Yeah,
Are you
he's watching
lollygagging?
burning chaos at the moment.
So yeah, I'm just watching him destroy everything.
Nothing of worth here, I say to the squid as I come up to where he's at.
Well, I just kind of ignore him and I turn around and start heading back towards the junction area with the 8 passageways.
Okay. You'll hover down there. It seems that as you go through the corridor, the lights kind of get brighter and then they dim as you pass.
Okay, so I'm just assuming that this has something to do with that device that I'm carrying.
So you're back in the main area there. Again, there's the way out, back into that strange substance that is kind of like water. And then there are 7 other corridors that you have not explored or looked down.
Do I have any idea how much longer till our extraction?
You're not really sure. You don't have that sensation of being tugged or pulled yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to we went to the one on the right, so I'm gonna go to the one on the far left.
Okay. This corridor looks similar in some regards, except on the floor there are 2 tracks, indentations in the floor itself. There's 2 of them. They're about 6 inches deep, angular corners, and they seem to run the distance of, as far as you can see down this corridor anyway. It goes down and makes a sharp left turn.
Okay, I pull out from the equipment that I bought back at camp. I'm gonna pull out a glow lamp. I'm going to start heading down that direction, shining the lamp in front of me.
Okay. So the ogre has seen the squid float away. What does he do?
Well, I'm just gonna follow him. I don't need a light though because I have infravision. So, well, I'd assume I don't know how. I think that works in pitch blackness, but
Yeah, I would think so. We'll say it does.
I'm just gonna follow him down.
All right. So the tracks in the floor. Yeah, that's basically all you really see. And again, the lights sort of turn on as you are walking down it. It seems like they are set up with like motion detectors. At some point, though, right in front of you, 2 red laser lights like just kind of pop out of the wall and are right in front of you, and this sort of klaxon starts to fire.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly move backwards away from it. Are they shining at me?
No, they're coming from the right side of the corridor and shooting into the left side of the corridor.
Oh, okay, so it's like a tripped some sort of alarm.
Yeah, one is about a foot off the ground. The other one is about 3 feet off the ground.
Well, I'm floating backwards, moving far away from them, and at the same time I'm pulling out my laser pistol and my bolt gun.
Okay.
That is not a good sign. They have discovered our presence.
At the beginning of the corridor behind you, you hear some sort of metallic, like metal scraping on metal.
Oh, I quickly as I possibly can fly back towards the junction area.
Okay. It seems like there is something that's trying to seal you off in that corridor.
Yes, I'm gonna get back as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to squeeze through that area, that door.
All right. The Ogren, as you're running, you're realizing that the space between the closing door and the wall is getting very, very narrow. You're starting to wonder if you're going to make it.
I'm gonna try and jump. I'm a hopper, so I can leap 15
That's
feet
right.
vertically. So I'm gonna leap right through that mother.
All right. So you'll see this giant, huge, bipedal humanoid just lunge forward at just an impressive rate of acceleration, and he probably bump your head or your shoulder. Maybe your shoulder gets scratched a little bit as you're leaving, but yeah, you make it out of there. Well, yeah, you take like 2 points of damage as you got some bruising, and you just thumped into it as you pass through.
My right shoulder hits the claw of the door as it descends and leaves a nasty gash.
The door closes.
So I'm gonna go up to the door and listen to it, see if there's anything, if I can hear anything happening on the other side.
I think there's actually a skill for that. Why don't you roll a d6?
Okay.
You don't have the skill listed for me. I should have done that.
Well, 4. That none of my skills are that high.
Okay. Yeah, you hear and feel just cold steel against your ear.
Is he on the same side as me? He made it out.
Yes, you both made it out of the corridor without being locked inside.
Well, I'm gonna hear. I have skill for hearing, so I'm gonna see what I can hear as well. Let me just roll real quick. And I did not get it.
You don't hear anything either. The lights will suddenly get brighter all over the facility. There's basking, iridescent light bathing both of you.
I'm gonna go back towards the entrance area where we came from that was filled with the fluid and had those floating things. I'm gonna look and see what's happening in that area.
All right, if you head back to, you're in that round area now with the 8 corridors. Outside, nothing really has changed. You'll see those pink globule creatures just floating above the surface of the fluid. It's just very bright. It just seems like there's lights that you didn't even see before are shining brightly down on this area. You'll see that the entryways to the various corridors, however, are all starting to slowly close.
Oh, that's not good.
No, that's not good.
I'm just gonna go back into the area with the fluid because I don't know what's happening in that area.
Okay.
Yeah. So the door to the fluid area is not closing, just the other 8.
Yeah, there's that ramp that came out of the fluid, and you went through the main entryway there. So basically, that's the entrance to the oblong structure. That's where you're standing at now. So you're standing on the ramp. You have the intense light of the sun raining down on you. You see those pink globule creatures floating a couple feet above the liquid type substance.
So there's not. We can't really get. What? So that was outside.
Yeah, so you're now outside, yeah. So
Okay.
You're in a giant round room with 8 corridors, and basically all the entryways are now shut. And there's intense light that's shining in that room right now.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep looking in there, watching, see what's happening.
Yeah, I'm out of that. I'm gonna get out of that room and go back.
From the corridor to the left of the entryway, the one that you were just in, you hear an intense smashing sound against the door where you just narrowly jumped through there, Mr. Hopper.
Seems to have released some sort of creature, perhaps.
Go investigate.
I'm not afraid, but there seems to be no way through that door at this moment.
Investigate the integrity of the containment.
Yes, I will.
So I go back in, and I'm gonna look and see if the door is buckling.
The door is buckling, and it has sort of like just sharp, angular points. Looks like maybe something long and sharp is trying to maybe get through the door. You're not sure, but it's basically something sharp and long is hitting the door. You're guessing from the other side.
Scrooge, you must burble your way up here and give me a hand. We must face this thing.
And I pull out my my gun, and so I have my gun and my sword, one hand and my sword in the other.
Return to our my current location.
I will do no such thing, coward.
We must wait for extraction.
The door explodes. Filaments of metal and shards fly everywhere. Why don't you give me a saving throw? It's like breath attacks.
Okay.
Jason?
Yep.
As shards of hot metal fly everywhere.
Okay, just one sec here.
Pieces of metal are sliding all over that room, and
I did not make it.
okay. All right. Let's see here.
That's always the best.
All right. Oh, it's not too bad. You'll take 4 points of damage as sharp metallic shards fly at you, and
Okay. So I'm down to 10 hit points. Hello? I think I lost you guys.
I think I'm still here. I think he had to go run and do something.
Oh, okay.
so, sorry, the neighbor was knocking on the door. All
No
right,
worries.
So there are sharp metallic shards in your face.
So I just kind of bat at them reflexively, just like you would when you stick yourself with like a rose thorn. I'm just kind of batting at these shards.
From inside the corridor, there looks like there was something on tracks on wheels. It has like 3 sharp spines that are sticking out of it. They're metallic in nature. You'll start to see like wheels around the bases of these spines, and they're spinning in a counterclockwise motion. It doesn't seem like they can get further into the corridor, but the spines angle and point towards you.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna spring my way the hell out of the way.
Return to my current my current location.
You see from where you're at, you see me just leap, like just sideways. I just graze the top of your squishy head and just fly right over you back into the jelly.
One of those spines will fly like right behind you as you were moving out at a quick rate, and clatters against one of the walls and just lays down. You'll see the gears spinning on that sharp spine. But yeah, you're seeing this from the entryway as you said you're in the liquid, so
yeah.
So you're out there.
So I'm just gonna peer down in there, see what's happening, what's in there.
As you peer down in, you'll see those spines. They look like they're just going back and forth. Looks like they're trying to acquire a target.
What did you discover inside of the location?
Nothing of worth or value. I suggest that we do not go back into that room if we value our lives.
I value my life.
One of the other corridor entryways start to open. And this one is basically right across the round area room. So you're outside on the ramp, looking in the entryway, into the round room, and the corridor directly opposite of you is starting to open up.
We can't see with the light what's coming.
Oh, you can see it's bright. It seems like there's some sort of metallic thing moving down the corridor towards you. It seems like it has limbs. You're guessing it has about 5 limbs to it, and they are mechanically moving.
So Burble can see my face, and that it's just torn up with all these shards and just like needles of metal that have gouged my flesh in all sorts of disgusting and horrible ways. And then I say, "We must go now!" And I grab his tentacle and I jump as high as I can and to get away from there.
All right. So 1, he's touching you. 2, he's jumping and pulling you towards wherever he's going.
So immediately, as soon as he starts touching me, I start thrashing about with all my tentacles and just waving around. Release me! Release me!
I'm not going to unless he can break away.
All right, how about you guys roll off a d20 each plus your strength modifier.
Okay.
I have no strength modifier. I rolled a 14.
Just one sec here. Roll. You won. You won.
Okay, so you break free.
So I'm just imagining my tentacle is still covered in that slime, and it just kind of slips out of his grasp with my thrashing. And I float away from him, just looking at him with as much contempt as a squid can give.
And you just see me rocket out of your grasp, and 20 feet away from you.
All right, so you'll sort of splash down in that liquid again.
Yep.
All right. From the entryway, you see this 5-legged metallic conglomeration. There are sort of like openings in the front of it, so it's like a mass of legs, and in the front is this opening with like sharp metallic shards. It opens, and just these red like sensor lights are like just spanning out in like all various array of colors, and just sort of just scanning everything around it. It's standing right in the entryway, looking at you.
Looking at me or looking at him?
Looking at both of you, I guess. It'll focus on one, and then the lights will focus in the area that the Ogre is. Bat spawn.
I'm just going to keep floating around. I'm not going to sit still, but I'm just keep floating back and forth. But I'm still looking at this thing.
Okay. And what does Fatspawn do?
I'm just going to train my gun on the entrance to the jelly chamber.
Okay. The legged thing the lights will turn off. The gaping maw closes. It'll turn around and walk back into the corridor from whence it came. But the doorway stays open.
That construct is salvageable. There may be some value in its remains.
Perhaps, but I would like to rest before I go on any other missions to injure my face.
So I go over to him and start examining all of those pieces of metal and shrapnel that are in his face, and I pull out my med kit and I start running scans and trying to see if I can heal some of it.
Okay. Yeah, there are some several syringes in the med kit itself, some salves and some creams you think could possibly help.
And Fat Spine seems surprisingly compliant. He just seems kind of winded, and he doesn't really fight you at all. He just kind of sits there.
So let's see, where's the med kit? It could actually heal some.
I believe so. If it doesn't actually say,
I think it was 1d8, but I want to double check.
Yeah, that sounds right. Try to find it here. Yeah, Medikit. Yeah, basically it has 3 uses, and it's 1d8 hit points per use.
Okay, so I pull out this device, and it starts this green scanner line of energy just starts moving across you. Then I'm just moving it up and down with my held in one tentacle, and then I pull a device off the top of it. That's this long cylindrical piece of metal, and I manipulate it so that these buttons are pushed on it, and this long needle comes out of the end. I just jab it right into your neck, and this fluid just starts pumping into you, and you feel it's really hot and burning, but you see all those wounds that you took, they start knitting up.
Ah, what in the name of Grimlock? Ah, yes, much better.
Retain those metal fragments. They may have some salvage value.
And I pull out like a magnet, not a big one. It's like a tubular magnet from my utility belt, and I try and run it across my face to see if it'll pick up if they're ferrous metal. I don't know.
You hear like the metal clanging as it hits the magnet. But it seems like you've removed most of the metal fragments from your face.
And I stuff the magnet back in my pouch.
And you're floating in this strange liquid-like substance.
Are you? Oh, let me roll
sun
for.
shining down on you.
Let me roll for how much that healed.
Okay.
5.
Okay. Feeling much better. I'm gonna open my mouth and I want to taste this liquid just to see what it is. It's kind of not on purpose. He's just kind of like he just opens his mouth on reflex.
I'll be right back.
Okay. The liquid substance has a very tart taste to it, and it's hard to swallow. It's sort of almost floating in your mouth.
Okay. So I can't just like I'm not gonna swallow it. I'll just spit it out, I guess.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to blow it out. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna push it out of there.
Okay.
Not really keen on getting that down in my esophagus and my stomach. So I'm gonna lay on my back and kind of float for a little bit. What do I see on the ceiling?
Oh well, like there's the sky. There's these pink bubbling creatures that are floating. There are no clouds. There's just the intense light of the sun raining down on you. It's very warm on the your skin. You think you'd probably get a nice tan if you laid here long enough. It's actually kind of pleasant.
Oh, so I thought we were inside. I'm sorry. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, so picture like lying on the surface of the ocean, except it's very still. There's no waves.
Oh, okay.
How far does this ocean extend?
As far as the eye can see.
Okay, so is this place that we went into, is it coming out of like a structure, a big building or something?
No, try to imagine like floating on the top of the ocean, and there's just this strange oblong metallic object jutting out of it. And that's all you see, other than the pink floating things that are bubbling and popping.
How big was this oblong structure?
Like the size of like a stadium, perhaps.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna start floating around it, just seeing if there's any other ways inside of it.
You do. Looks like there's two other entryways into the building.
Okay, I go back to where
They
the ogre.
they also have ramps as well. They have ramps that are coming out of the water.
Okay, I go back to where the ogre was. I found other entrances, other ways of accessing the interior of the structure.
Good. You are not completely useless as I previously thought. And I get out that magnet with the little bits of metal, and I say, "Here, this is for you. You've earned it."
Not quite sure what it is. I take it and I'm just examining it with my tentacles.
It's got all those metal pieces that you thought would be of value.
Salvage. And I put it in my bag.
And then I'm just gonna float my way over to where you were at as you head. I guess we're heading back there.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to the first entrance that I found.
Okay, so not the first one that you guys entered, but one of these other entrances that you just discovered.
Yeah, the first new one that I found.
Okay. All right, same thing. It has a sort of a ramp-like structure that leads up to the entryway. This one is more angular than the other entryway. It seems like it's more professionally put together, if you had to guess. It's not as just haphazardly placed there. Inside, you'll see a very angular hallway that ends in a set of like sort of metallic double doors. There's some looks like there's some areas where there used to be lights, but they're not lit up at the moment. So two metallic double doors. There doesn't seem to be any obvious way in, except for one of those cylindrical indentations in the door.
Okay, so I'm gonna slowly move inside, and it's just the one way, right?
Yeah, there's just an entryway in, double doors, cylindrical hole. You see the wire at the base of it.
So I still have that thing connected with pseudopods connected to my arm.
Yep.
And I have my glow ball. I forgot what they're called. It's my light source that I have, and I'm floating along, just examining everything as I go along. I'm not moving very carefully. I'm looking for more of those laser beams, basically.
Okay. You don't see any of them, and you're at the door.
Okay, then I'm going to put it into the spot where it looks like it could be inserted.
Okay. The door will start to open. It'll get about to like maybe 6 to 8 inches, and then it stops, and you hear this whirring sort of sound from both sides of the walls.
Did the door slam shut?
No, it started opening, and then it seems like something's malfunctioning.
Oh, okay.
It almost seems like it's trying to open, but it isn't.
Is it large enough for us to pass through?
The squid can probably get through an 8-inch.
Oh, it's only 8 inches. Okay.
Yeah, not the ogre. So,
Can I try and like? It's still. You're saying it's still like slamming shut and going open and slamming shut?
well, it was opening and then it stopped. But
So it just stopped.
Motor,
It's not. Okay. Can I try and
Yeah.
force it open? I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Open
I have
door strength, I believe.
open door strength. Yeah. Let me just try and see if I can get my meaty paw underneath. And I got it. I rolled a 2. So.
So describe what you do. How it
So
works.
with the hand with my gun, I prop my gun barrel into the hole, and I kind of use it as a wedge. And then with my other hand, I just use the palm and I just jam it up as hard as I can. So the top, I think you said it was opening that way, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not?
Into that. All right, so the ogre, basically just opens the doors. Inside, you're going to see what looks like translucent panels on the floor, the walls, and it's not in a rectangular fashion. It's more like a pentagon hallway. right on the other side of the panels, it looks like there are scurrying, geared little things, probably about the size of a baseball. They have various different appendages, and they seem like they're like locked in containers. Like each of the panels looks like if you use the pseudopod, you could unlatch them all and let them out. So you're guessing there's probably about 20 or 30 of them inside each of these panels.
So the door is completely open and it doesn't sound like it's whining anymore.
No, it's yeah, it is open, and you guess it might be stuck open.
Okay, I'm gonna go back outside, not completely outside of the building, but outside on the other side of the door. I'm gonna pull that pseudopod out
Okay.
and just watch and make sure that the door is staying open.
So far, so good.
Okay. So these panels, they're filled with these things inside of them? Is that what it
Yeah, like
was?
small robotic little creations. And it's a corridor of nothing but these panels.
So is it like they're moving around inside, like they're trapped inside of them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I really want to open them up and let them out. I'm just going to keep going down the hallway.
Okay. And again, it's sort of like the floor is angled. It's a 5, pointed, so 5 walls basically. The floor, I guess, would be considered like 2 of these panels. So you're floating though, so it's not too hard for you. You float down the corridor. It ends abruptly at the this like a dashboard or some sort of panel. There's various sticks sticking out with buttons, and there's no light. It seems like they probably should have light coming from them, but there is no light.
I'm just going to examine it and look at it carefully. Is there any place to insert the pseudopod?
There is.
Well, and it's not a panel that has those things inside of it, right?
No.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and insert the pseudopod in there.
Okay. You'll start to see the lights come up. The lights will outline the various panels behind you. So it's now very bright. The displays will start to show strange symbols, but they look like they're keeping track of each of the panels. You'll see different screens. Each of the screens is focusing on a different panel. You're guessing maybe statistics or observations about each of them. Again, it's just a lot of gibberish and symbols that you can't read. And what about the ogre? What's he doing?
So I'm still kind of fiddling around with some of those panels by the door.
Okay.
Trying to poke them with my meaty finger, see if I can get one to react biometrically or something.
Okay, as you poke it, you'll see that the robotic things inside are like it's like a little mini riot. They're trying to like you'll feel them through the panel, like tapping on it, scratching it. They seem like they're focusing and concentrated on the area that you're touching.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't open that.
With my flamer on standby, I'm going to palm the panel with one of my hands. See if that changes anything.
They still focus on it. It's a little bit the pattern is a little bit more spread out, however, like around your hand. So tapping, scratching.
So while I'm back at the other spot, I purchased a picked recorder, which is just like a digital camera kind of thing, and I'm just taking it out. And I'm just taking pictures of those patterns of light that was coming out of that other panel that I inserted the pseudopod in.
Okay. Nothing seems to really respond or happen.
After that, I'm gonna reach out with my tentacles and see if I can touch some of those lighted up areas.
Okay. You'll see different angles start to appear on some of the displays. Yeah, other than that, you'll see maybe if you touch a certain button, a light around one of the panels will turn off. But it's easy to put back on if you tap it again.
Yeah, I'm just going to continue trying to push different patterns.
Okay.
Seeing if I can identify any type of logic to it.
It seems why don't you roll a d6 and do science and technology again.
Okay, I failed that one.
Okay. As you're sort of basically you're just pushing buttons at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're pushing buttons, and then you start to hear the unsealing of all the compartments.
Oh. I turn around and I start floating as quickly as I can back the way I came.
Okay. So the one that the Ogren had his meaty hand on, you feel the air from the outside edges of the panel hit you in the face.
What?
And then the squid starts floating right at you.
What did you do?
Collect some of those specimens.
Collect them
The panels
yourself.
start to pop right by the station, and the chittering little robotic things start to emanate from inside them, and they start to crawl all over the walls, and then you start to see little like red laser lights as they start to destruct and cut apart the metal where they're at.
Nano-destructors. I've seen these before. By not too long, this entire corridor will be nothing but slag.
How long would it take me to get back down towards that panel?
You can float back.
I mean, are they jumping out? They're just destroying everything around them, right?
It seems like they're crawling out, and then the first piece of metal they get to, they stop and start cutting it.
Okay, I'm going to quickly go back and grab that pseudopod.
Okay, pull it back out.
Yeah.
As soon as you pull it back out, all the light in the area stops. It cuts out, but the little creatures are pretty much free now, so they're just going out. It looks like they're just slowly deconstructing the entire corridor. And yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So after I grab the pseudopod, I quickly turn back around and try to float back out to outside where the sun was at.
Okay, what does the Ogre do? So basically, like your meaty hand is on the lid, and they're trying to get out of right there, but then you see all these other lids pop open, and all the little metallic robots come out.
I'm just gonna let go. It doesn't matter at this point. There's so many of them already loose.
As I float by, I said, collect some samples.
With what?
Your appendages.
So I try and, grab a handful, but I just end up like crushing them because I have no fine motor skills whatsoever.
So there's little like robotic broken legs sticking out from your meaty paw.
And I follow him out.
Okay. You see that they like. You get the feeling that they're just basically going to just continue to destroy everything in front of them. That's what it seems like.
We must find a way to shut down these nano-destructors if we still want salvage.
There's another passageway we may enter.
Where's that?
Past the one that we just exited.
What do you advise?
This unit advises entering the third passageway.
Acceptable.
I start floating off towards that other entrance that I saw.
Okay. And as the Ogre follows suit, do you swim through it to get there?
Yes, he does.
All right. In the sky, as you're traveling, there seems to be a dark object. It's throwing a shadow on the surface of the liquid, and it seems like it's heading in this direction. It's like like an oval, oblong sort of black structure floating in the sky.
Is it moving quickly or?
Slowly.
Oh, slowly.
You're guessing it's probably about 2 miles off, 3 miles off.
This could be another salvage. We must hurry.
Agreed. I just
So-
move into the
Yeah,
third.
I'm gonna hurry my way up into that corridor, just
Okay.
as fast as I can. See what I can see.
It's frustrating because the liquid doesn't give you as much resistance as water does, so it takes you longer, probably about twice as long. If you would compare it to swimming in water, it takes you twice as long. But you get there. Again, there's the ramp heading up into the door. This doorway is more cylindrical. It's a round entryway. Inside, you'll see what looks like robotic humanoids, except they have 4 legs, and they're all basically joined up at the a hip area. They're smashed, broken. Some of them are holding things in would you consider like arms or hands? They look like they could be artifacts or tools. There's burn marks in various places. Their faces are just one sphere, but it looks like there are several slits, almost like they could spin off in different areas.
So I'm gonna reach down and using my chainsword, I'm gonna saw off the heads,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try and grab the heads. And using some binding wire from my gear, I'm gonna kind of string them together, and then like not wear them as a necklace, but just put them in my gear.
Okay. So there's sparks flying, sawing through robotic necks.
I'm going to examine what are they holding.
They have anywhere from 3 to 5 buttons on them. You're not exactly sure what they are. They could be tools or weapons.
Well, I just start collecting them.
Okay. There are 19 of them.
Oh, wow. How big are they?
About the maybe like the size like a box, with like a handhold area, or like a
Oh, okay.
plug-in area in their case. So.
I don't know how much more stuff I can carry.
You also notice that their hands sort of have like these pseudopod sort of endings on them.
Do they resemble the thing that I have with the pseudopod?
Their arms do. The rest of them does not. As you cut the heads off, you'll actually encounter some organic matter that is on the inside of them. Like, as you cut the head off,
Okay. Yeah.
you cut through some organic matter that looks like it went up into the head.
Okay. And so the juices, like this black bile leaks out, and like some of it like sprays up into my face. And so I have like this band of just this black, it looks like spray paint almost across my face. Almost like war paint almost. These could prove useful. Possible memory units for resale.
I'm ignoring him cutting and sawing. His destructiveness is just bothering me. So I'm just trying to collect these devices that these cyborgs are holding.
One thing that might start to become clear is that a lot of these items are not organic, and they will not be able to be transported back home unless they're coated with something.
Well, we have our blood mules, or space mules to slaughter, don't we?
Well, yeah, we mentioned that before. I don't know if
Okay. Well, we never talked about them being there.
So if there's organic material in these, I'm going to try as delicately as I can to saw off, to just leave. You said they're like Cybermen, right, or something?
Yeah, it kind of looks like on the inside of them there's organic matter. If you start to cut them open with your chainsword, you're going to see a living well, it's dead now, but it's in the shape of that three-pronged pseudopod thing. So that video you saw, that greenish creature in the display, looks like it was, maybe like an infant or one of these creatures. So they are inside these robotic, shells, basically.
How big are they?
They're like the size of a large dog.
So yeah, I'm gonna tell him that we can use these for transport, and then I'm gonna just try and saw some of them out, see if I can get the organic material intact so that it's not like splattered all over the place.
Well, if you can get one out, we can stuff them full of the
Yeah,
devices.
that's what I mean.
Oh yeah, you cut a hole in them and just like shove the weapons inside.
Yeah, something.
And we can tie their feet together, and you can sling it over your back.
You start to feel that tugging sensation, that
Hurry.
trip is almost over, that your time here is running short.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and get one of those out and stuff. I don't know if I can stuff one of these heads that I severed in it. I don't know
Yeah,
if
well,
they'll fit.
there are literally a pile of them, so you start to just saw like crazy. You're cutting into them. You're cutting through the shells. You're motivated, so I think that's possible. So you get enough organic matter to hide the artifacts, objects, etc. in, and then that you almost feel like it's time to go. So is there anything final you do as the black shadow of the oblong thing in the sky is now over top of you?
No, I'm just going to wait to be pulled back for what we already have.
I do have one last thing. Well, Fat Spine has one last thing he wants to do. He pulls down his trousers and he takes a massive dump on this ramp. This is what I think of this filthy, pathetic salvage waste of my time.
I'm actually going to take my pict recorder out, and I'm going to take a picture of whatever that is that's floating up above.
Oh, okay. All right.
And just take pictures of these. I'm just going to keep taking pictures of all these things until I'm pulled back.
Okay. So like a final snap crazy, just get them all over.
Yeah.
Okay. Record as much as you can. Okay. And then the same thing happens. You're pulled back through Paraspace. Let's see here. This time the Ogren feels like something is constricting your neck. It's almost like someone had wrapped like intestines or some sort of organic thing around your neck and is pulling it tight. The sensation lasts for a brief moment, but as you sort of flop down back at headquarters and covered in slime, there actually is some sort of strange tendril that has been torn or sliced through that is still wrapped around your neck.
Well, I'm going to try and pull it off.
This unit surmises that there is something living in Paraspace that is assaulting us in our attempt to return.
As you try to pull it off, it hurts. It seems like there's like miniature barbs that have like sunk into your skin all the way around. It's like ow, 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 as you pull them free.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop if that's the case.
Well, I go up and I continue help pulling it off.
Okay.
So I'm interested in this thing, because if it's in Paraspace and it's attacking us every time we try to come back, then that's not a good thing.
The headquarters are there. This time they have some medical technicians that sort of swarm over you. They're just checking you out a little bit better. The one sort of, one's very interested in the tentacle that's with the barbs that's around your neck. They're scanning you, looking over you, sort of poking and prodding you, and then they notice that what you brought back, and their eyes get real big and they get excited, and they completely forget about you guys and focus on what you brought back.
Yeah, I show them the floating globule and all the pieces of plant matter and seeds.
one of the technicians is just looking at the bag and looking in there, and he sees this pink thing that's bubbling and popping, and he's very, very intrigued by it. He's sort of like, he goes to yank the bag out of your hand, and then he looks at you, he gives you back the bag, and then he goes and gets like a large like plastic container and basically puts it in that instead. And the good old company representative is looking down at his artifact, and okay, so we got some life forms. What are those things inside there? I see some bulging things inside that fleshy thing. What is that?
Those are heads.
Oh, heads. All right. We got a standard rate for heads. All right. What else you got?
I show him the fragments of metal.
Scrap. All right. What else?
The weapons that were inside of the
Ooh.
body, or whatever they were. They were weapons or whatnot.
He'll actually reach out to grab it, and then he stops and thinks first and reconsiders. Count those up. How many you got?
How many were we able to stuff in there?
All 19.
Oh, okay. I just help empty it out, and pour them out.
They're all covered in this just rotting organic matter. All right, that was a good haul. Looks like you all get, there's two of you, 200 credits apiece. Nice haul. Good job, gentlemen.
So as he says that, you see a little bright red laser out of the corner of your eye, and one of the nano destructors had snuck into our hall, and he's hastily taking apart one of the weapons.
What is that?
And I just grunt and smash it with my fist.
No, don't. You just what? You
Those-
don't do that. What was it?
Those are dangerous. They cannot be allowed here.
How dangerous?
Well, they were destroying our salvage.
Mechanical disassemblers of some sort.
We'll have to investigate that. All right, that'll bump you up to 210 apiece.
Further information, and I start showing him the pictures that I gathered, and show him that large cylindrical device that was descending from the sky.
Information. All right, it'll round you off at about 225. You boys are gonna have fun tonight. Your accounts have been credited.
I download those pictures into his tablet, and I retain my pic recorder.
All right. Anything else to report?
Well, I mean, other than us being attacked twice on our way back.
Attacked? How so?
Well, I show him the tentacle that was wrapped around his neck. We were attacked on our retrieval attempt. The first time in the other location I was attacked, and this time he was attacked with this tentacle.
That's unheard of. There's nothing in Paraspace.
It is my belief that there is some organism living in Paraspace.
How is that even possible? It doesn't make any sense.
Facts point to the fact that there is otherwise.
Perhaps it just before you left. You sure this isn't from a place you were just at?
Identical situations arose in both retrievals. The moment we were being retrieved, we were assaulted.
Well, put it in your report.
I just eye him for a moment, then I just turn around and float out.
I'm gonna take the tentacle and just toss it his way, so that it gently bounces off his chest. You'd best investigate this if you know what's good for everyone.
All right. Come on, you know your place. Now get back to your bunks.
Ah. So I
We'll
turn.
let you know when you can come out next. Go spend some of that hard-earned money back at I don't know, wherever the hell you people hang out when you're not working.
I need to find myself some slosh gruel. I don't have time for conversation, and I leave.
All right. Okay, I guess we'll end that mission there. I guess that's a better way to put it. Phil, can you hear me? You still plugged in?
I'm still here.
Okay. How you said you're pretty much getting close to being done?
Yeah, I'm getting close to getting done.
Okay.
Just going over a few things.
You have any questions or anything?
I was just looking at the armor class table, and I'm looking at where like it has like the Beastman and Ogren squat levels, and like so this is just based on the armor I'm wearing. So if I'm wearing armor class 6, right, and I'm at level 1 and 2, it's going to be at a 14 then, right?
Lower armor class is better. So this is like it's like 2-hit armor class 0, like Thaco.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a better dex, it actually lowers your armor class.
Okay.
So it's a little bit backwards. But yeah. But yeah, if that's all you're down to, you could probably do something. I don't know what else everybody else wants to do today. I don't know how long my daughter will be sleeping. So that's a thing.
How's she doing?
She's quiet so far. How about you, Jason? What are you up for? Probably should wrap things up, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting tired. Oh, I don't know.
The hammock is calling.
Hammock.
Well, I got to play more than I expected to today, so that was cool.
Yeah, the system wasn't that hard to learn. Like, I didn't have to actually even read the rules. Like, I get it now.
No, it's yeah. You really don't even need to reference it, except yeah. I don't know. I didn't look at anything. I had the PDF open. I didn't even open it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much old D&D in space.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Except for like I said, the armor classes lower is better. That's the only thing that's a little confusing.
So I just wanted to make sure I was understanding the hit points. It was just our 1 hit die, right, for the first level?
Yeah, I guess, Phil, I should have mentioned you have max hit points at first level, plus Constitution.
Oh, we got max? Oh, man, I done rolled on that, and I was like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I had rolled 2 at first.
Well, I got a 5 on mine, but I'm like, oh, that's fine. But all right, I like that.
Yeah, so the plan, guys, is to meet every week from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll try to do that every week. Hopefully, I think you said, Tim, the next week you won't be able to play?
Yeah, I'm going to be out next week.
Okay. Yeah, my son goes to preschool, and my daughter goes to the neighbors for the morning. Sometimes he brings it back early, but as far as that as far as that time slot goes, I should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you end up picking, Phil?
Okay, so I ended up rolling a lot of things. I ended up rolling the class as well. I just rolled a d4 on that one, and I got a Beastman.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a Goat Man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He had the following stats. He had a 16 con, a 12 dexterity, he had 17 intelligence, and 12 strength. But the mutation he got was moronic, which decreases your intelligence by 4. So now his intelligence is 13, but he still gets a +1 bonus on it. So he's smart, but all of his potential kind of just.
I got immunity to magic. Since we have no magic, it's kind of...
You have immunity to things that don't exist yet.
Yes.
I think I kind of went over too a little bit, Phil. Just feel free to throw things in for the setting. It's not like in most campaigns I guess I run. I have like a pretty like deep setting picked out. This is very loosey goosey.
Oh, so is this like with the Wars game then?
Oh yeah, I guess so too. Yeah, like for instance, Jason threw some stuff in there from time to time. So Tim, yeah, that'll work.
Oh hell
But
yeah!
yeah, the setting itself is basically all I really have is that it's like this ancient, ruined culture. You know, it used to be intergalactic, and now the only way to get from place to place, there's no spaceships. They all forgot how to do that stuff. Is going through this very risky, mutagenic paraspace travel. So basically, you're traveling from place to place with the power of your mind and meditation. But as they're finding out it's not safe, they're getting grabbed and cut up, and things are trying to choke them to death on the way through. So, and they have no idea where they're going. Every time is a different place, a different, maybe even time. You're not sure. But,
So this is kind of like Dune meets a post-apocalyptic universe. Is what I'm thinking of now.
I guess so.
Because they travel using like their mind when they take in the spice. That's the way I was picturing it in my head.
And we do have to say a prayer as we're going.
I guess we'll mutter yourself or whatever. What did you do, Jason? You were like kicking your feet and.
Yeah, he was stamping. Some kind of ritual to prepare himself, I suppose.
Okay. So we have a marauder. That's going to be Brad. It's basically just like a human fighter
With chicken feet.
with chicken feet. That's right. He's got chicken feet. We have the floating squid. That's Tim. We have the ogren. That's Jason. And now we have a goat man, a beast man.
Oh, what name did you end up rolling, Phil?
The first one I got was Slug, and I liked it. And then I gave him like his native name, but then like you just have the nickname. So it's a Gamarot Tatul, otherwise known as Slug.
My name is Clapface White Burble.
Yeah, they basically rolled 4 times, and then like the first two words were the first name, and the last two were the last name. So that's what they came up with. But that's cool. Did you roll 3 times on the special item table, Phil?
Yeah. I ended up getting a bolt pistol, a laser gun, and a hand flamer.
Okay.
Oh, we were supposed to roll 3 times? I only rolled once.
Yeah, you roll 2 more times then too.
Okay. I got the bolt gun for that.
And I put my pip into science and technology.
Okay. That'll work. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to get a hold of all of you today. Either earlier Jason had a problem getting into the Hangout, so I'm gonna have to do it through Google Plus and then just send you guys the link.
Okay.
So it should work out okay. Something with his tablet it wasn't working right for some reason.
Those things can be finicky.
Yes.
Being caught in Paraspace will do that. Your connection gets disrupted.
So did that happen the first time you guys came back? I must have missed that. You got caught with a tentacle?
No, I got grabbed by something on my tentacle. I had like black marks, like I don't know if it was scorch marks or whatnot, but he said it was going to blister, so it was either acidic or burning or something.
Yeah. So yeah, not quite safe, and it's every level you guys are gonna roll a new mutation, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna be freaks.
Well, more so than you already are.
Yeah, even bigger freaks. Oh, did we get experience?
Oh yeah, I guess that's something I should work on. not really sure about how much you guys got. I'll probably let you know first of the time, beginning of the session next time. Sorry, I'm really tired.
Did you want to do it Lamentation style or total credits as our
we can do that too. I'm probably just gonna do it more Lucy, actually. Just
okay.
Okay, you are leveled, so we're not gonna worry too much about that.
Yeah, that's much easier to deal with.
All right, I think I probably should get going here, guys. Do you have any questions though before I go, or anything you want to ask, or whatever?
Is there any base attack bonus or anything like that? I
Strength and dex.
There is you're basically going to roll a d20 and add either strength or dex, and you take that number, and there's a 2-hit chart. And everyone at first level is the same, but Marauders kind of break away and get better as they level up. Actually, that was good timing. I think my daughter just woke up.
Okay.
That sound, it has returned.
That screeching sound.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'll
Thanks
talk
for
to you
running,
next week.
Tim. Appreciate it.
9:30 Eastern Standard Time.
You got it. I'll see you all there.
All right. Talk to you guys
All
later.
right. Peace out.